The Patriots make the AFC Championship game. Can you believe their good fortune? The Broncos are starting Jarrett Stidham this Sunday. We'll get the latest from our insider in Denver. And holy moly, what are the Bills doing? The Boston Globe Sports Report starts right now. Welcome to another action-packed edition of the Boston Globe Sports Report. I am Ben Volen. We're going to have Mike Kliss, a Broncos reporter, joining us later to give us the latest on the Broncos quarterback situation. Danielle Dubois will be by, as always, to give us some fan takes. And today I'm joined by Tara Sullivan, who we got to talk Patriots football. It's going to be an all-football edition of this show today. Tara, the Patriots are in the AFC Championship game. They took down the Texans on Sunday. Now Jarrett Stidham is going to be starting the game next Sunday against the Broncos. Can you believe all of this is happening for the Patriots?
Oh, it's like deja vu all over again. I mean, it's got to be driving the rest of the NFL crazy that somehow the Patriots in this, relatively short amount of time have rediscovered the formula and done it again, coach and quarterback together. But yeah, this season, man, they've gotten every break, but they've taken advantage of every break. So it's hard to believe, but yeah, here they are.
I'm telling you, I promise you, no one back in September had the Patriots going 14-3 and making it all the way even to the AFC Championship game. And now the Super Bowl seems realistic. I mean, with Jarrett Stidham starting this game Sunday instead of Bo Nix, who broke his ankle at the end of the game, I mean, are we just penciling the Patriots into the Super Bowl at this point? Is there any way they don't win this game?
Yes, there are ways they don't win this game. I mean, it's never easy to win in Denver. They certainly, the one thing I will say in defense of the Patriots is with Mike Vrabel coaching, they are not going to take it lightly, right? Like they're not going to think, oh yeah, we have this game won before it starts. And facing Stidham, I think they're going to really, get in his grill and try to make this game very hard on him. But yeah, they have a red carpet laid out to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and let's not forget the Broncos have an excellent defense. They led the league with 66, 67 sacks this year. They have an excellent pass rush. This is the third straight week now that the Patriots, it's like really the same team 3 straight weeks between the Chargers, Texans, and Broncos. Excellent defense, but really shaky quarterback play, and you're not quite sure what that offense is going to get. So it is going to be a challenge, but man, I think we can start booking our tickets for San Francisco. I think the Patriots are going to be playing for the Super Bowl. And you know what? Even though Drake May and the offense haven't been playing well against these tough defenses, they're still coming through in the fourth quarter when their team needs them the most.
Well, that's the thing. They've survived, these games that really they could have lost. And I think a lot of credit goes to May in that regard. He's not playing his best. He's turning the ball over. He's got to protect a little better. But he's surviving, and he's making, the most important, best plays when they matter most. That rightfully threw to Stephon Diggs, right? Like putting it in, and even the late touchdown to Booty, which nobody else could have caught, right? So those are the times when you say, yeah, Drake May seems to be calm in the face of some of this tension in the games, unlike what we saw with C.J. Stroud as an example this past weekend's game. So, yeah, I think the Patriots, they have the right temperament for this kind of game.
No question. And it is going to be a tough test. Look, Sean Payton is a heck of a coach. He's going to have 8 days now to get ready for this game. Jarrett Stidham, yeah, he hasn't thrown a pass in 3 years, but Sean Payton's going to have Stidham ready to play. So I don't think, honestly, I expect more out of Jarrett Stidham playing at home than C.J. Stroud on Sunday in the snow, throwing 4 picks and just looking awful. Well, let's talk about the Patriots offensive line. Will Campbell gave up 2 strip sacks to Will Anderson. What's your thought on the Patriots offensive line and where Will Campbell fits in at left tackle?
Yeah, I mean, future, who knows if he's the tackle, right? Maybe he ends up being a guard in the long run if they can find another tackle. I give the kid a lot of credit. He stood up at his locker. He stood up. He's taken responsibility. But whether he's fully healthy, whether he's hitting a wall in his first full NFL season, he definitely needs to play better. Maybe they need to give him some help. Maybe they need to be a little bit more creative moving Drake around, behind the line of scrimmage. But, yeah, they need a little bit more on that left side of the line.
I couldn't agree more. All right, thanks, Tara. Okay, for today's hot take, I'm going to recommend a move for NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. You should nullify the result of Saturday's Broncos-Bills game and declare the Bills the winner instead. No disrespect intended to the Broncos, who've had a terrific season and earned the right to host Sunday's AFC Championship game. But for the 25 million non-Patriots fans who will tune in, having to watch Jarrett Stidham instead of Bo Nix will probably take a lot of juice and excitement out of the game. Let's be honest. Who wants to see Jarrett Stidham in the AFC Championship game instead of Josh Allen? I know who, of course, Patriots fans who just want to get to the Super Bowl and don't give two flips about the competitiveness or quality of the game. But a Patriots-Bills AFC Championship game would have been epic. Roger Goodell, you still have time to make it happen. All right, coming up next, we're going out to Denver. Mike Kliss is going to talk to us all about that Jarrett Stidham move for the Broncos. Welcome back to the show. And Tara, now for the interview with this crazy Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham quarterback news for the Broncos. We got to go out to Denver and get the inside scoop here. We're going to bring in a good friend, Mike Kliss. He's the Broncos reporter for 9 News, KUSA out in Denver. Mike, I got to ask you, on Saturday in Denver, Sean Payton calls you guys back into the interview room. Have you ever experienced something like that? And what were you expecting when that happened?
No, I was a little miffed that Bo Nix hadn't come out yet. It was like we had things to do, And I even texted Patrick Smythe. I said, hey, can you hurry up with Bo here? And he wound up texting me back, Bo's out for the season. And I was like, what? And then Sean Payton walked through the doors and made the announcement. So, I'd never done that before. It's interesting. Sean Payton would rather tell family secrets before he would reveal anything about an injury. Often these players play every snap and you find out that they're injured significantly the following Wednesday. You don't hear about it till the following Wednesday. So I was surprised they revealed this right away with Bo. But Bo has different obligations, as a star quarterback. Like when Wattenberg, the center, had a shoulder injury, no one was poking around on him. Bo had to come to the press to do his post-game presser. He would have been unable to do that. If he would have showed up, he would have done it in crutches. And everyone would have been asking questions. And so they thought rather than, throwing the bait in the water and having it come out 2 hours later in reports, they just decided to tackle it now. Plus, I think Sean Payton used it as a way to send a message to the team that he's all in on Jarrett Stidham, and they can still try to accomplish what they want to accomplish just with their backup quarterback.
So how would you describe, Mike? I mean, that's such a bombshell piece of news. Like, how has it gone over with the fan base, and just how would you describe the reactions and temperature, in around the fan base?
Yeah, when all the joy and laughter turned to sorrow, it was shocking to everyone, and it was such a high with that victory, and then to have like you said, that bombshell news, it was so everyone just kind of dropped their daubers and. It was like, no, you got to be kidding me. And so that was the initial news. Rather quickly, Jarrett Stidham played so well in the preseason, much better than he had in previous preseasons. And so it was like, yeah, he's got the third year under Sean Payton's system. Sean Payton is a pretty good coach, and he'll coach up Stidham. He'll galvanize this team. And they quickly became hopeful that they have a chance. Obviously, less chance with Bo, but they still think it's a good team. I do give the Broncos a puncher's chance to beat the Patriots on Sunday in the AFC Championship game. Bo was so good in the clutch. He got knocked around by critics quite a bit this year, here and there, but he was always good in the fourth quarter and good in the final 2 to 3 minutes. Whether Jarrett Stidham has that type of poise and pressure gene remains to be seen. I think the Broncos might have to win the game earlier. If they wait around to, try to come back in the fourth quarter, they're going to be in trouble. With Bo, they almost expected it.
Mike, we got about 30 seconds left. Do you expect the Broncos offense to change much with Jarrett Stidham?
I think they'll try to. I think Sean Payton will try to go the turtle ball approach. I think he'll try to run. I think he'll try to condense the game, shorten the game. play to the defense. The defense is capable. It's on a takeaway run right now, Ben. 7 takeaways in their last 2 games after hardly getting any in the first 16. So if they get a couple takeaways, I think they'll try to play this game to try to win, something like 20-17, 23-20, something like that.
Yeah, Patriots fans assuming it's going to be an easy win. The Broncos led the league in sacks. And obviously, I think everyone knows Denver's not a very easy place to play. All right, Mike, we're going to end the interview now with 3 quick hitter questions. All right, these are quick answers. What was the Broncos' best win this season?
Against the Giants when they were down 19-0. A lot of people might have said the Eagles come from behind 17-3 in the fourth quarter, but 19-0 in the fourth quarter, that's hard to do.
Yeah, Bo Nix had some fourth quarter magic this year for sure, even on Saturday against the Bills. You've now covered Sean Payton. This is your his third year in Denver. You've been there 21 years. What's your favorite Sean Payton moment covering him?
The introduction press conference, we had a one-on-one with him. 9 News had a one-on-one with him. He pointed out that I'm from Oswego, which is down the road, Oswego, Illinois, down the road from where he played at Naperville, Illinois. He said his first start was against Oswego. And then it's been all downhill ever since.
Very nice. All right, and finally, what would your game prediction be if Bo Nix were playing this Sunday?
If Bo Nix were playing, I would say the Patriots would have the lead in the fourth quarter and the Broncos would win it in the end.
It's
not original. It's only been the Broncos 2025.
Yeah, that's not a bad prediction. Mike Kliss, thanks so much for the info from Denver. We'll see you on Sunday at the AFC Championship game. Coming up next, the Buffalo Bills. What the heck are they doing? We'll catch you next. Boston Globe Sports Report. Welcome back to the show. And for today's Slam Dunk, we're going to take a trip down to exit 16W on the Jersey Turnpike. The New York Football Giants made their best decision in 10 years, agreeing to terms last week with John Harbaugh on a reported 5-year, $100 million contract. The Giants have the NFL's second worst win percentage over the last decade and have cycled through 4 coaches as they look for a successor to Tom Coughlin. Their search is finally over with John Harbaugh. Yes, he underachieved the last few years in Baltimore, but Harbaugh is a former Super Bowl winner who brings instant credibility and can build the Giants into a perennial winner. The Giants now have an established veteran coach and a young, exciting quarterback going into his second season. Where have I heard that recipe before? Okay, moving on now to You Might Be Right, Tara. Welcome back in. There you are, Tara. All right, seismic move in the NFL today. Crazy news. I did not see this one coming on a Monday. The Bills, 2 days after their loss to the Broncos in the playoffs, have fired head coach Sean McDermott after 9 years. Tara, what the heck is going on with the Bills right now?
It certainly appears that McDermott lost a power struggle, right, with the GM, who somehow came out of this with a bad roster and a promotion. It's hard to believe. It's seismic. You said it. It was a bombshell. We thought that Jarrett Stidham playing quarterback was the big news of the weekend, and this is just even bigger. I think he's going to be an immediately coveted prospect out on the free agent coaching market. 8 playoffs in 9 years? I know they didn't get over the hump, but this year was not his worst coaching job. Really surprising that he got the axe. Yeah, people forget he took the Bills to the playoffs before Josh Allen got there. Yeah. He did it with Tyrod Taylor. Here's my take on the situation. I've been very hard on Sean McDermott over the years. For the clock management against the Chiefs and just, constantly coming up short in the playoffs and not getting the most out of Josh Allen. If you told me 2 years ago they were going to fire Sean McDermott, that was the right time to do it. I'm shocked that they did it now. This was, as you said, not his worst coaching job by any stretch. And frankly, the 2 people most responsible for the Bills this year underachieving were Josh Allen and the GM, Brandon Beane. The Bills roster was very subpar this year. They didn't get any help around Josh Allen, a real mediocre list of receivers. And then Josh Allen, now 0-7 career in overtime. What do you have? 4 giveaways on Saturday against the Broncos, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. Josh Allen always trying to play hero ball. He's the one who got McDermott fired. The time to fire McDermott was 2 years ago. I really am shocked they did it now. Yeah, and it feels like that notion of kind of fresh start, change it up, right? They're going into a new stadium, and even their official statement, mentions Bills Mafia. I don't know. It feels like kind of this whole cycle of coaching, what are we up to, 10 changes now, right? There's a lot of just musical chairs game going on here where teams just kind of want this fresh start. And I feel like maybe the Bills just sort of hopped on board with that, because who knows where they go next. I don't know that you get a better candidate than the one that you just fired.
Yeah, we obviously don't live in Buffalo. I didn't get the sense that fans were up in arms, like you got to fire McDermott. Now, they are opening the new stadium next year, and I'm sure the owner factored that in heavily, time for a fresh start. But I'm really surprised that they made this move, because I didn't think McDermott was the reason. It was the roster. Brandon Beane was one of the reasons why this team fell short, and yet he gets more power now. He's going to get full control over the roster. All right, real quick, we got to bring this up because Rex Ryan said it on ESPN. He wants Bill Belichick to get this job. You think there's any chance that he becomes Buffalo Bill?
Oh, this is a never say never moment, but if I were the Bills, I would say never. No, I would not court that madness again.
If they do go for a former Patriot, I would think Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator, would make more sense, because he did great for Josh Allen, and they love him up in Buffalo. All right, we're going to stay now with the Bills here, and we're going to move to breaking it down. We got to talk about that crazy play at the end of the Broncos-Bills game. It was ruled an interception. Brandon Cooks came down with the ball, but then he had it ripped away from him. The refs ruled it an interception on the field. I think Sean McDermott, a lot of Bills fans disagree. Tara, what was your take on whether they got that call right?
Yeah. I don't have a strong argument on whether they got it right or not. But I just wish they had reviewed it. Take a little more time. This is a monumental, highly consequential, most consequential decision, and it felt like they rammed that thing through and pushed it through so quickly. And I do think that was what McDermott's post-game frustration spoke to a lot. In some ways, it's a fascinating thing to look at, because had McDermott maybe not complained as much about the officiating as he did, maybe that wouldn't have turned off ownership. I don't know if that hurt him in getting fired, but I also think he was right that I just felt like that was whiplash. Personally, on first sight, I thought it was a catch. What did you think?
Yeah, I think we all thought it was a catch at first, but I think they got it right. And I know that's not a popular opinion. Everyone thinks the refs blew it. I think they got it right. Here's the catch rule. There are 3 elements. You got to secure the ball. Right. You have to get 2 feet in bounds, or 1 knee, or 1 butt cheek. We all know that. And then the third, you got to perform any act common to the game. You have to tuck the ball. You have to make a move upfield. You have to do something more than just get 2 feet down. Brandon Cooks did not do that. He caught the ball, he started rolling to the ground, but he didn't survive the ground. And I'll put it this way. If the ball had popped out and rolled around on the ground, no one would have been arguing that this was an incomplete pass. He didn't survive the ground. So the fact that it didn't roll around on the ground and instead it landed in the belly of the Broncos defender, to me, that's the same thing. So there was not an act common to the game. I think the officials got it right. Yeah,
again, bang, bang. I feel like it might not have popped out had the defender not been right there, and you could also argue that he had enough possession of it. But yeah, they just should have reviewed it.
All right, coming up next, Danielle Dubois got some more hot takes from Gillette Stadium. We'll catch you after the break. Welcome back, and Tara, now it's time for our segment, Wicked Loud. We're going to bring in Danielle Dubois as always. Danielle, you got some hot takes for us this week from the fans?
Yes, got lots of hot takes from the fans at Gillette Stadium, of course, because it's the Patriots playoffs. So we're going to start off strong with Colby with an MVP take.
Matt Stafford should be MVP over Drake, man.
I mean, hot take. Even his girlfriend was shocked at that. Tara, what are your thoughts? Do you think that that's a true statement?
I do not. I think that Drake May, given the weapons that he had, the record on the road, doing it all in his second year, I think Drake May had an MVP season.
I think Drake should win the MVP, but I think Matthew Stafford will win the MVP. So 2 different answers there.
That's very fair. Now we're going to kick it over to Andy with a lot to say about Ramondre Stevenson.
I'm sorry. Get rid of Ramondre. I'm sorry.
Get rid of him. I mean, he's had a problem with fumbles in the past, but I feel like he's done very well, hasn't he, Ben?
That's a very uninformed take, because Stevenson's been arguably their MVP over the last 5 or 6 weeks. He's running the ball really well. Had another really nice rushing day against the Texans when Travion Henderson was kind of running into a brick wall. But Stevenson as a receiver has been phenomenal, catching screens, but also on the outside like a receiver. So Ramondre Stevenson has been tremendous this year, and I think it's really a credit to Mike Vrabel for not burying him early in the season.
Absolutely terrible take. The combination of him and Henderson, that's one the Patriots should hang on to for a long time to come.
Completely agreed. And I think his friends agreed too. When he said that afterwards, there was some backlash. I just cut that out of the video. Now moving over to Saved You a Click, starting off strong with Nick Foles, who's taking a shot at the Patriots, saying that they struggle against backup QBs in championship-type games. I mean, we've seen Nick Foles face off against the Patriots before. Do you think Jarrett Stidham could do the exact same thing, Tara?
Oh, I don't think we're going to see a Foles game out of Stidham, but I have to say I love that take. I thought it was hilarious. Anybody who knows everybody thought of that immediately, right, going up against a backup quarterback. So great take, but no, I don't expect a Foles game out of Stidham.
I will say, though, that that Eagles Super Bowl from 7 or 8 years ago, you have to remember, the entire analysis was, well, there's no way that Tom Brady's going to lose to Nick Foles, and there's no way that Bill Belichick is going to lose to Doug Peterson. So that you have to remember that game just in the back of your mind as we're talking about the Broncos this week, because it's happened before. So why couldn't Jarrett Stidham and Sean Payton pull it off?
Very true. Our last Saved You a Click is Chara attending the Patriots game after having his number retired in the rafters at TD Garden this past week. He came over to the Patriots to celebrate their playoffs. I mean, you gotta love it, right, Ben?
Yeah, Chara, Boston royalty. Vince Wilfork was at the game last night. All kinds of former Patriots. And, yeah, it's great to see the guys from the other team show up, too.
Yeah, Big Z is one of the best. I came into Boston later in my career to cover sports, and he's one of the most impressive guys I've met, not only as a player, but as an interview and the kind of culture setter and all of that. So he would have totally fit in this Patriots locker room.
Absolutely. All right, Danielle, thank you very much. All right, let's end the show with our Hail Marys. Tara, you go first.
Let's see. I say, this won't be a nice one for Red Sox fans, but I see Alex Bregman winning the baseball MVP for the Cubs.
Well, he's got to stay healthy in August and September, but that would be a pretty hot take. My Hail Mary, the Super Bowl is going to be coached by a couple of guys named Mike. The conference championship games, you've got Mike versus Sean in both of them. Vrabel versus Peyton, and you've got McDonald versus McVay. It's going to be the Mikes, Seahawks versus Patriots in the Super Bowl. All right, thank you, Mike Kliss. Thank you, Danielle Dubois. Thank you, Tara Sullivan. I am Ben Volen. We'll catch you guys next time on the Boston Globe Sports Report.